John, Jay, and Rich. It's Friday.
Yay!
Come on, I think we can do better than
I
that.
just think we're all glad it's here. We made it.
It's Friday. Come on now. Let's go. March 21st. Our phone number is 877-937-1047. You can text us. Text JJR and whatever is on your mind to the number 96893. This morning, I'm no math person, but Peyton said, I'm testing my luck. I have 11 miles in my gas tank. It takes me 19 miles to get to work. If I don't pass a gas station when I leave from home to get to the freeway, so I'm testing my luck that I don't get stranded on the side of the road. Like I consider myself an expert in this category.
Yeah, you play it pretty fast and loose with the gauges in your car.
I do. I've driven my car when it gets down to 0, but I'm usually within a half a quarter of a mile to the gas station. But Peyton's math is way off.
I left my house last night to go get gas, and I had 178 miles left. Yeah, total difference between us.
So, you made it, Peyton?
I did. I made it here. I did have to stop at a gas station, though. So, from the way that I get from home to work, I don't pass a gas station unless I get off the freeway to get to work. And so, I know my car. I know that it probably, once it gets to 0, it holds 20 miles. I know that about my car, so it's I can make it. So I'm driving, I get off the exit to get to work, and I look at my gas tank, and I'm like, oh, that's, really past 0. I've never seen it get that far. So I was I'm just going to stop at the gas station right here. No biggie. It's a new Circle K. It's nice. I'll be fine. Never will I ever get gas on this side of town again when the sun is not up.
I know. When
really
you said you were going to stop, I'm I'm so scared for you because I know where that Circle K is.
This one right here? You stopped there?
It's brand new.
No, not this one.
Not the scary Circle K. It's the brand new Circle K just right down the road. Which eventually will be the second scary Circle K.
Eventually. So I'm getting gas and I'm sitting there and I'm okay. All right, whatever. And then I get out and I take my gas, taking the pump out, and all of a sudden I hear, hey, you.
That's never good. Never good.
You with the pants. Hey, you. I'm talking to you. Why aren't you looking at me? And I kind of look around, and this lady, who was obviously out of her mind, starts running at me, sprinting at me across the Circle K parking lot. I had never gotten in my car so fast. I think I left the gas thing hanging. I seriously think I took it out of my car, threw it. I drove from the gas station to work with my gas tank wide open. I've never gotten out of somewhere so fast in my entire life.
Could you see her chasing you like Terminator 2 in the rearview mirror?
Could you? Terrified. I was terrified. Yeah, I kind of saw her in my rearview mirror, but she stopped running eventually. But I skirted out of there so fast. She could have killed me.
Yes.
She could have killed me.
Listen, there's one universal truth to not great neighborhoods. If you ever hear somebody yell, hey, that's never going to be good for you.
Well, how many people were around you not wearing pants?
I don't know. I told Nick that too. And
you with the pants.
You with the pants.
Well, she's got leopard pants on.
I can't see her. I've not seen her pants all day long.
That's so funny.
That's why I knew she was talking to me.
Okay, what if this woman actually saved your life? What if there was someone coming up behind you, right? And she was like, hey, you with the pants. She didn't want to say, look out to alert the person that was about to murder you.
She's like a superhero.
She was running towards him to save you.
Chances aren't high that was what was going on.
I know, but I like to think that. That would be a little less scary.
What if you were driving away and she was like, hey, you with the pants, you get in the car, take off, and then as you look in the rearview mirror, you see someone come behind her and stab her.
Yeah.
She was running from somebody.
There's always somebody more on more drugs.
Jeez,
She just got escaped from someone's trunk, and she's trying to get a ride to safety, and you took off.
She's like, I thought I could get a ride when she filled up her tank.
Jeez, man.
Oh, that's a disaster.
It was a treat.
Well, I'm glad you didn't run out of gas. My wife told me when we were dating, my wife and I were dating, I didn't have a car. I was driving my dad's Jeep, and I was going somewhere, and I ran out of gas, and she wouldn't pick me up. And I had to take I hitchhiked back in the day. I hitchhiked and got a ride and then got gas. And she told me that she will never, ever, ever pick me up if I run out of gas. She said there's no excuse to ever run out of gas, right? So now we get married. Been married about less than a year. And I'm living in Cincinnati and I have a 20-minute drive to work. And I run out of gas, right? I don't call her. So I walk to a gas station and it's not open. but they're going to open like in an hour. And I walk up, it's all dark, and I walk up to the glass, and I put my hands up to the glass, and I'm looking inside, and I see someone. I knock on the window, and they don't open. And I'm like, dang it. And I'm waiting, and then some cops pull up, and I'm like, hey, I go, can you help me? And they go, well, I can't remember how what happened. I go, well, what's going on? They go, well, we heard that there's some guy walking around, and it's kind of dangerous. And I was like, well, Jesus, let me in. And they're like, we think it's you. Like the person in the gas station called 911 or called the cops because I was knocking on the window. Like, I ran out of gas. And then they help me. They get me the gas and fill it.
You're the hey guy in the situation.
Yeah. Peyton was there. She would have left me. Hey, you with the pants. It's like a time warp. Like if it was go back in time, I was the guy yelling, hey, with the pants.
And we were both out of fuel at the same time.
Oh, man.
Glad you're safe. That is actually very
Don't
scary.
do that. Or call one of us and we'll meet you at the gas station.
Yeah. I was thinking about, like, if I did run out of gas, who would I call? I was like, would I call, like, Nick, or would I call my dad or my boyfriend? Like, I went through, like, in my head. Like, I seriously thought I was going to run out of gas.
I think you got to call whoever is, because we're all awake, so you have to figure out whoever's closer to you. No?
Yeah, I would probably call you guys over here. And then I would call my dad to come get my car. I don't think I would call my boyfriend. He'd get mad.
You'd have plenty of people to come rescue you.
I would, yeah, but I'm glad I was able to get up out of there because never again.
Like, hey, you with the pants. And then you're like, wait a minute. If you think about how your brain works, you're like, I have pants on.
What if that's me?
Are they talking about me?
Totally.
Oh, yeah, hello. Anyway, well, we're glad you're safe. We're glad you're here. We're going to have to put a picture of your pants. This is like a couple times this week that your outfit has made our show content.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so you had the whole Beyonce Canadian tuxedo the other day. Now you got leopard pants on, and what else?
A Nicki Minaj shirt, graphic tee.
Oh, that's cool. And my favorite leather jacket. I love that jacket.
Hey, you with the Nicki Minaj shirt. Kyle, what's coming up with 3 things you need to know?
There is a hashtag trending. It's called hashtag take down Tesla. And across the country, people have been vandalizing Teslas and Tesla dealerships. And now they're getting in big trouble. The Attorney General announced charges against 3 individuals from Salem to Loveland and South Carolina. Each defendant is facing serious charges, carrying a minimum penalty of 5 years and up to 20 years in prison. They say brain flossing is something that could totally help you, and everyone should start doing it. It's a trend going viral on TikTok. And experts explain brain flossing as a mental well-being phenomenon inspired by the idea of cleansing your mind, much like flossing cleanses your teeth. It includes listening to 8D audio. Sounds that switch between left and right ears. 8D audio apparently makes it feel like the music is traveling from one ear to the other, pulsating around your head and creating the sensation that you're clearing the brain of unwanted gunk. And I was like, where does one find 8D audio? Apparently, you can just search 8D audio on YouTube, SoundCloud, or Amazon Music. And it'll help you relax, help you sleep, help you unwind. I think it's kind of annoying when you hear one thing in one ear when you have headphones on and not the other. But apparently, I've never really tried going back and forth between the ears. And apparently, it's very beneficial to clearing out that gunk.
That reminds me, like, I have the Beats Pros, like the little headphones or whatever, and whenever I, like, turn my head one way, all the music will go onto one side, and if I turn it the other, it'll go to the other side, and I can't stand it.
You can turn that off.
You can?
Yeah, it's like the spatial audio thing.
Is that what it is?
The Apple
Okay.
AirPods have that, too.
Yeah.
So you got to set it up so that when you're, like, walking or doing whatever.
So that's different than brain flossing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Grant.
I don't mean to shoehorn myself into this, but the binaural beats is what you're talking about, basically. It's how you reprogram your brain, and the government and scientists have been using it to connect to the astral world for years. So people who basically you can dream and sleep and go places in the real world. It's a real thing, but that's how they do it, is with this quote-unquote brain flossing thing. I think this is a trick, guys. I'm very scared. I need to go home.
They're trying to
I need to go see my wife. I'll be back in a little bit.
So Grant is like those experts that warn you about TikTok trends. Yeah. Don't do it.
Yeah, dude, don't. I think there's some weird
mind
programming
control.
stuff.
Mind control.
Yeah, big time, brother.
I think you might be onto something there.
Okay, well, I think we can all agree that when it comes to getting tasks done, especially those tasks that can be like, pretty big, overwhelming, or really important, you want to get them done quickly and efficiently, right? A new study suggests that going number 2 before doing something important or a large task will help you get it done quicker and more efficiently. In fact, they highly recommend this for elite athletes before big games.
I was going to say, that's the PGP. I know exactly what you're talking about, the pregame poo. And it really does
That
matter.
makes all the sense in the
you
world.
feel so much lighter. Like, as soon as you said that, I was like, that brings me back to playing basketball.
Yep.
PGP.
They say reducing pressure in that area enhances your cognitive judgment. So
That makes sense. If you're like, an animal getting ready to be chased by a cheetah, you better poo so that you can get your run on.
But we have Peyton as the PG. We said the PSP.
Yeah,
Pre-show.
Oh, really?
But there's something you said at the very beginning. How did you start that story?
I said if you have like a large task at hand.
What if going poop is your large task?
What a great
well,
schedule.
That's how I
then you
plan my
take
day.
care of that task, and anything that follows it, your brain is going to be firing on all cylinders.
That's the only thing on your to-do list. You're having a good day.
For me, that's all. That's every day.
And that's 3 things you need to know.
Horoscope time. Peyton, what's the vibe today?
I'm going to tell you about what your sign says about your sleep habits.
877-937-1047. I guess we'll spend the whole segment on Virgo. Morning.
Good morning.
How are
you?
What's your sign?
Aries. Today's my birthday.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to tell you how kind of your sleep habits go for your birthday as your little birthday present. Aries, you guys treat sleep like a speed run. You'll be up at 3 a.m. making impulse decisions, and then suddenly you're going to crash like a phone on 1%. When you do sleep, when you do sleep, you wake up like you're in a battle scene, blankets on the floor, pillows across the room, and somehow a bruise from like an unknown source.
That sounds about right. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Happy birthday. Have the best day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.
Heidi, good morning. What's your sign? Heidi.
Oh, good morning. I'm Pisces.
Just like Rich, okay, for my Pisces, this is what your sign says about your sleep habits. First of all, your dreams are straight up movies. You guys wake up with visions, like full-blown plot lines and emotional damage from things that didn't even happen. You could literally write a best-selling fantasy novel based on your sleep adventures.
It's so true.
Yeah. And I don't know about you, Heidi, but mine have a full soundtrack and everything.
Oh, they have everything. I wake up, I'm either mad at the husband for cheating on me or...
That's so real.
Do you know, I've heard a dream expert say that if you're dreaming about the person that you love cheating on you, it's everything that you dream about is all part of your personality. So you're mad at yourself for like cheating on something or cheating yourself of something.
Interesting.
I can see that last part, definitely.
Heidi, thanks for calling in. There's a stand-up comedian, Andrew Schultz, and he dropped a special last week, and he talks about his wife having nightmares that he cheated on her. And he was like, well, so in your nightmare, tell me what happened. Give me the details. Like, did the girl do this? Was it more than one girl? And she's like, no, she didn't do that. And he goes, oh, so in your nightmare, it's also my nightmare. Like, she doesn't do all these things that he wants her to do.
I tried to watch that Andrew Schultz
Yeah.
stand-up, and I couldn't because he looks so weirdly like my cousin Gio. I was watching it. I was like, I got to turn this off. This is so weird.
Mustache and all?
So I'll have to show you the comparison
It's a
picture
great
that I
special.
sent to the family
he's
group
really,
chat.
really good.
If you've ever gone through infertility treatments and struggled to have a baby, his whole special is about what him and his wife went through to have a baby. And it's funny because my wife and I watched it, and it's kind of like, wow, that's at some point or another, I've told the same version of that story. It's pretty amazing. Shanae, good morning.
Hey, good morning, it's Gemini.
Okay, Geminis, your sleep schedule is straight up chaotic. One night, you're out here pulling an all-nighter watching conspiracy theories, and the next, you're knocking out at 7 p.m. like a grandma. And let's be real, you just can't sleep without scrolling through your phone for at least an hour.
Oh, my gosh. That is so me. Especially when I pull them marathon 29-hour shifts, and then I just do craziness.
Tired and wired. You come home tired and wired.
Yep.
Can't sleep, can't stay awake.
Absolutely.
Nice,
Thank you,
Shane.
guys.
Bye.
Have a good one.
What up, Mike?
Morning, family. Happy Friday. Let's see what Peyton has for Virgos today.
Happy Friday. Okay, Virgos. John Jay, you really need to listen up because I know you're all about your sleep and stuff. But Mike, your sleep routine is scientifically optimized. You have a set bedtime, a skincare routine, and a perfect pillow-to-body ratio. By the second you lay down, boom, your brain decides it's time to overanalyze every decision that you've made since 2012.
Nailed it. Nailed it once again.
Big time. That one, dead on. Dead on. All right, Mike, have a great day, dog.
You You guys have a blessed day.
Bye.
How about for Libras?
Libra Kyle, you have the cutest sleep setup. Fluffy blankets, aesthetic fairy lights, maybe even a Pinterest-worthy nighttime tea routine. But actually falling asleep, you really struggle because you're too busy replaying old conversations throughout the day and making up fake scenarios where you finally say the perfect comeback.
That may happen if we didn't have our schedule. But I feel like I'm out in 2 seconds or less.
I feel that.
If we didn't get to your sign there, I'll post it on our website, johnjrich.com. Now, in 3 things you need to know, Kyle had what was the big poop story?
It was basically you should number 2 before any big task that you need to accomplish because it helps your brain like cognitive function better.
I believe David agrees with that story, right, David?
Yeah, John Jay.
What's the story?
I grew up in Michigan, and I used to work for dog shows, at dog shows. And before the owners would take their dogs into the rings, they would take a match and put it up their butt to make them poop, because apparently the sulfur in the match made the dogs want to get rid of it, and the only way they can get rid of it would be to poop it out.
So when you say they wouldn't light the match, right? They would just stick a match up there.
No, that would be cruel.
Unlit match, they'd stick up. Yeah.
Either way, it's
Caught me off guard there, David.
You know what? I'm going to try that later today. I'm going to try a match. I'm going to try a remote control. I'm going to try tongs.
Oh my gosh,
Grab the keys. We'll drive home.
Yeah, I'm going to try lots of stuff. I'm going to test that theory out.
Thanks for this, David. Thank you.
You'll have to let us know how it goes.
I'm going to try a pizza roller, a pizza slicer.
Okay.
I'm going to make text me all the things I can put up there to test if they make that happen. Thanks, Dave. Time for Stacks and Hacks. I have Stacks information. Rich has life hacks. A new poll found that the average restaurant tip is 18.9%. Delaware leaves the biggest tips, while California leaves the worst. And even if you're the best server in the world, 7% of people never leave a tip.
Ooh, that's bad.
A Gallup poll just released the results of its annual study on how happy people are with their lives around the world. Finland came in first out of 147 countries. The United States came in at 24th, and Afghanistan came in last. We're right in the middle of spring break bus. We probably got another 2 weeks left of spring break bus. But a spring break beach brawl in Florida ended with an 18-year-old biting off someone else's ear. Completely off. The ear biter was arrested for felony battery. I'm going to get to this in a second. I have some big science news, and I think it's interesting because Rich does this coast-to-coast show all about weird stuff in space. It's pretty cool stuff. I'll get that in a second. My bad. My notes had it right there. I should just do it now since I've been talking about it.
You might as well.
But I can't because
I'm very excited to hear it.
Good. It's a good teaser then. Yeah. Cheesecake Factory's menu is getting bigger. They're cutting 13 menu items, but they're adding 20 more.
Let's go, Cheesecake Factory.
Their menu's already too big. Like, there's already too many choices.
Oh, yeah. For Kyle, this is going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
64% of Americans experience math anxiety. I totally do when it comes down to tip time.
Oh, yeah. Especially if you're, I'm married to a smart lady who'll be like, it's just 23% of that. And I just look at her like, I don't know what that is. 23%.
I try to do it in my head, and then I try to not eventually got to go to the calculator. So I try to be like a good dad and be like, okay, kids, what's 20% of this? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm trying to educate them, but I'm really doing it for my own edification. Edifice. Hold on, let me get them. I'm a little discombobulated this morning.
Do the science story.
Okay, hold on. Oh, here we go. A kayaker in Sweden is going viral thanks to an otter that absolutely loves him. Her name is Leia. She found her as a baby a year and a half ago and realized the mother was gone, the baby otter. He nursed the otter back to life, back to health, then released her. So she's fine on her own. But every year he shows up in his kayak, and every year or every month, and she's excited. She comes and jumps on the kayak. She recognizes
That's so
him.
cute.
The stranded space station astronauts that came home on Tuesday, and Kyle did a bunch of stories on that. They had people wondering how much they made in space. Did you see this story? How much they made? So their salary was $150,000 a year. They were there an extra 9 months. They got an extra $5 a day.
That's terrible.
They were there 286 days. So they each got $1,430.
Oh, that's messed up, especially because the emotional trauma that they probably went through up there of not being able to come home is crazy.
NASA also says, hey, man, we also cover their meals, lodging, and transportation.
You didn't have to pay rent up there. You know what? Man, and to come back and your body's all weird. Did you hear how their hearts turned from heart shape to circle shape when you're up in space?
Crazy.
Like, that takes a long time to recover.
In astronomy news, a study found, this is deep, you got to really think about this, our whole universe might exist inside a black hole. The oldest galaxies are twice as likely to spin clockwise than counterclockwise. So if the universe was born by getting flushed out of a black hole, it might explain why clockwise is more common.
Whoa.
That was for you, because I know how you're into that stuff.
Well, you know how they say that those circles repeat everywhere all over the universe, that one spiral pattern?
That's your world. No, we don't know how they say that.
Well, they say that.
But what do you got for life hacks?
Let's keep it a little easier. So, you know how people have been coming up with life hacks for years and years, and people swear by them, but science has actually proven recently that they say, yeah, that's actually true, and you should do that because that works. One of them, slamming a glass of grape juice will take away any basic headache faster than any aspirin or Tylenol. Keep that in mind. This other one, drinking a little alcohol, Peyton, before you start a creative writing project can fuel your creativity and boost it by 40%.
Okay, I was going to ask you because you said grape juice. I was like, does wine count?
It's just said grape juice. I don't know about the wine, but if you want to experiment and report back, we're all down.
Noted.
But having a little bit of a drinky poo before you start a writing project can really make it pop for you. So try that. Let us know. Show us what you wrote. That life hack and many more can be found at johnjanerich.com.
We're officially commercial free. We have a spring break bust on the way in less than 20 minutes. First, though, always talking about our text line, always letting you know you can text us. You text JJR and your message to 96893.